So what you do on the left-hand side here, these are the current picks. If you click on your team icon, it'll bring up the current picks. So I took Brown. He was the first person. Back this up a bit. And then, so you go back down. This will keep rotating over here. You know, it'll keep going up and down as the draft goes on. Here's all your keys, you know, team needs, proposed trades, which I avoid. I avoid the reset. I avoid well, you know, all these ads down here too, so that kind of sucks. But I don't do restart. I do resume draft after I make my pick. But here's the section that's important to look at. So right here on this little button, those are notes about the players, and it brings up everything about their analysis. And literally this does this to every single pick in the draft. So, you know, Thomas, and I'm going to pass up on the quarterback with the second pick in this case, and I'm going to take the #1 overall tackle, who is Wirfs. So go with him, and you'll see over here, nothing's happening right now because the draft just paused for my pick. So I'll hit resume draft, and you'll see it just start flying right here, and it goes fast. So now I'm already on my other pick, and guess who's still available? Jordan Love. So I'm taking him with my next pick. Now I'm in the third round here. It's just going real quick. McKinney. Well, Antoine Winfield Jr. is another great. He's one of the other two of the top safeties in the draft. So I'm actually gonna take McKinney because he's the #1 overall rated. He has more versatility, play more positions on defense. So I'll take him. Winfield's still there. There he goes. All right, so now I'm at pick number 56. So, you know, here we are in the second pick of our third round. So I took, you know, McKinney, and, you know, 56. I'm going to go look at my team need. Well, I know what my team needs are. You know, you just look at quarterback, offensive tackle, safety there. So go up here, just close the page, close that. You can click on, again, the team icon to go and look at who you've gotten. So I filled needs at quarterback, tackle, and safety. Obviously, Brown's a top 5 pick, so I took him. Can't pass up on him. So my other needs, you know, right now is going to be is guard. But you know, looking through here, do I pass up on some of these other players here, and reach for a guard? There's nothing really here. So I'm not going to reach for a guard. I'm going to look at best players available. Obviously, I don't need Eason. Could I look at Lewis or Uche? You know, I don't need a safety. So there's a lot right here with the outside linebackers. I don't like anything else down here. This is a really tough pick here at 58. So I'm going to look at Lewis and Johnson. So I'm going to click on their notes, see what it says about the cornerback from Utah. Good size, ball skills, tremendous upside. You know, it's always good. Runs well laterally, flies around the action. I like that. Negatives. I always like to look at the negatives. Lapses and occasionally lets receivers get behind him. Let's see, late receivers, line of scrimmage. So a lot of this stuff, you know, speed, you can't teach speed. So if a guy lacks speed, then he has speed. But if you can stop them at the line from getting beyond them, which can be taught, and especially in a system like Flores has, you can absolutely teach, you know, stopping them at the line of scrimmage and being more physical. So I don't see much negativity here because it can be taught, it can be corrected. Johnson's a talented athlete with next level size and flashes on ball skills. Must improve the nuances of the position, which can be taught. Comes with tremendous upside. That's huge for me. So right now I'm leaning towards Johnson. And again, as you read all this stuff, you learn about the players, and I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember what those players had. And also, you know, when we're picking at 56, you know, some of these guys are rated in the 40s, and because you're talking about defensive players, you know, not offensive line, and not much here. What's going on is this tells me in the draft there was a run on #1, probably offensive, defensive linemen, and then #2, skill position players like wide receiver and running backs. If there was a wide receiver here, I might take a good wide receiver. I don't know anything about this guy, Laviska Chenault Jr. No idea. I've read up on Iliak. I don't like what they say about him, so I would pass on him. I think Davis was a pretty good wide receiver, but again, you're getting back down into the draft where you're passing up, talent. So, Terrell Lewis, let's look at Terrell Lewis, outside linebacker. A lot of outside linebackers can, be the type of guys that give you that pass rush ability off the outside. So let's see, productive 3-down linebacker with a developing game. Those are good things. 3-down linebacker means, he's first, second, third, down, he's in on all plays on defense. Breaks down well, moves smoothly, fluidly every field. So all this looks good for the positives. He's got some forceful up the field movement, so maybe he's a effective pass rusher. Moves and rushes the passer. Yep. Must improve his strength, the point, and ability to defeat blocks. So with a lot of, what's not shown here is, number one, how many years did he play at Alabama? Is he a junior? Is he a senior? I don't see anything in here talking about that. So, those are, if he was a junior, he's still maturing. So possibly he can actually become a stronger player. So improve his strength at the point and ability to defeat blocks, easily out positioned from the action by larger tackles. If he faces a Pro Bowl tackle, most people struggle. But here we're talking about the 56th pick in the draft. So, I'm willing to take a shot on a guy like him. So we're going back to whether it's between Taylor Johnson or Terrell Lewis. Let's see, except from an injury which kept him on the sidelines 2018, productive front seven defensive player. So there's some medical concerns here with him. So I didn't see any of that with Johnson. So we could always use depth at corner. Remember, McCann can play safety as well. If McCann's playing safety, we could use another corner who comes in as the nickel. So you have Byron Jones and Exo. You got those guys at the corners, manning up the outside. Having Jalen Johnson over here as your nickel cornerback could be great. So that's what I'm going to pick. So then I'm going to click on resume draft, and you'll see over here just flies by. All right, so now what do we have? There's not a whole lot here that I've seen from before. I like this Tyre Biadasz. He's been good so far. And remember, a lot of centers in college can actually move over and play the guard position. So did I get a guard yet here? Remember, guard's a position of need. I don't have that. I've got a defensive tackle, offensive tackle, quarterback, safety, and cornerback. So a couple picks that I'm looking at, getting here. I still want a running back if I can find one. There's a couple late in the draft that I would pick up, double up on, each of them complement each other. And then, maybe a wide receiver. So skill positions too. I don't see anything here in the position for, skilled positions. I have no idea who Lynn Bowden is, so I think I'm going to look at taking Simpson's a good guard. I've researched him a few times, but again, he's way up there at pick number 83, and we're at 70, so I'm not going to reach here. I'm going to go back, and I think I like, I've read up on this guy, Tyler Biadasz, Wisconsin, known for putting out great offensive line in three-year starter, explosive center, he can move over. Not a dominant drive blocker, struggles to handle wide body defensive tackles. Those aren't really big negatives in my opinion, and I think you can teach blocking. So drive blocking, that's something that can be taught. Productive, durable, those are good qualities to have. One of the best centers in college football last 3 seasons. So I'm going to take him. Helps us on the offensive line, and that's my pick number 70, and he's rated as a 72. So I'm just going to hit that. And here's where we wait a long time for picks. I think that was that was a third round. So here we are in the fourth, and we got to wait to the end of the fourth round to pick again. So between the third and fourth round, we just dropped 70 picks. 70 picks from 70 to 141. There's a lot there, a lot in between. So we lose a lot of players off the board here. So guys who I've been looking at before, none of these names stand out to me before. I like Hodgkins. I like Vildor. He's been drafted a few times. Even Martin, Gibson, Strand or Snad, whatever the hell you pronounce that. Heck's another good one. Reed's another good one. Although we already have our safety. Here's another guy, Shane Lemieux. So he's ranked 122, and we're at pick 141. I really don't want to go back-to-back guards. Anthony McFarland, I haven't looked at him too much yet, but what's he got for a running back description here? Played at Maryland, a one-year starter. That's a good numbers for college football for a year. Little bit back in 2018 as a sophomore. Missed a game, so he still got over 1,000 yards even missing a game. Small, quick, elusive ball carrier. Those are good qualities. Let's see what it says about negativities. Lacks the size and growth potential. Easily brought down. So he's not a big guy. He's somebody who can go out in the field and catch the ball. When healthy and on his game, McFarland was a game changer for Maryland. He's a creative back who isn't afraid to carry the ball on the inside. That's good, but he's a small guy. Although with a good offensive line, it might be small guys work out sometimes. Shows terrific skills as a pass catcher. If he checks out medically, should have second pick. So here we are. We're in third day, fourth round, third day. Pick number 141. I think, back-to-back and guard, tough, powerful blocker, struggles to slide in space, not light on his feet. Oh, Kinley is somebody I liked, actually. I think I took him in one of the last drafts, so. Minimally effective as second level, in motion, struggles to slide in space. Those aren't big negatives for me. You know what? I really don't want to take two guards in a row. Let's go back to what my draft was so far. Yeah, see, I took the center. I got cornerback, safety, quarterback, offensive tackle. Man, this really doesn't... Oh, Taylor was a good player. But I've already got some outlines. Explosive run and chase linebacker. Just defensive back speed. I really like what he has. Occasionally bites some ball fakes. A lot of people do, even some of the best. Easily taken from action by blocks. Hesitant, possess average instincts. Taylor is one of the most gifted linebackers in this year's draft. I really like Taylor. Let's see what we got. You know what? He's an outside linebacker. Moves really well. I'm going to take him. He's ranked 136, and we're at 141. So again, I'm taking need and one of the best available. So now this is the part of the draft in the fifth round, picks number 153 and 154, where we can absolutely hit some home runs. So I liked Hodgkins early. I like Gibson as a running back as well. Might be an area where we get two, double up. Basically on those running back positions. So I'm going to take a wide receiver, and the next pick is us to Gibson. I'll take Gibson as well. And then here's the draft is flying along. Now we got 171. Some guys I've been looking at. I think Charles was decent. 3-year starter left tackle, started one game at right tackle, lacks quick or smooth footwork off the edge. So footwork's one of those things you can teach. You can teach footwork. Lacks balance and finds himself on the ground too much. I think with footwork you can get better balance. Really doesn't sink his butt. Charles was a solid college right tackle, but must play in quarters. He lacks grace. Could end up as an impressive utility backup at guard or tackle. Maybe a lot of guys who play tackle move to guard. He got some versatility, so I'm going to take another offensive lineman. Now let's take a look at where we are in the draft so far. We've got Derek Brown, Tristan Wirfs, Jordan Love, Xavier McKinney, Jalen Johnson. So I think we need maybe another skilled player or two. That's right, we did not go running back, so Gibson, gives us a little bit of skill there. Let's see what else we got at pick 185 here. Jennings is somebody who I've read a lot about. He's really good. A defensive end position, looking at what we've drafted so far, we do got some defensive line help, our number 1 overall pick. We've got some outside linebacker ability, so taking a defensive end here wouldn't be a bad idea. We're at pick 185. Jennings is 187. 3-year starter, lots of tackles, good sacks for college. That's good. That's some good production. Large, powerful linebacker. Again, he's going to play defensive end. Stiff, occasionally bites on ball fakes. I'm not concerned about biting on ball fakes. And gets caught out of position. That can be a problem. Lacks lateral speed. Can't teach speed. Doesn't run ball carriers down. You're going after the quarterback if you're a pass rusher. You're not looking to run down guys. Jennings is large, tough linebacker. Plays mean. I like that. Strong football. Athletic and space limitation. He's a 2-down defender who likely best on the inside at a 4-3 alignment. So, okay. Yeah, I still like Jennings. I'm going to take him here. All right, so now we're at pick 227. So that's what we're looking at. A very good situational player. He's not going to be our starter. He's going to be a guy who comes in, 3rd down, do some blocking. So that's an option to pair with Gibson, who we drafted earlier. None of these other guys. Nothing. Harrison Hand was a good rated cornerback. We've already got some cornerbacks. I don't want to reach. We have some picks coming up later in this round. We're picking at 246. We'll have a shot at 251. We'll have a shot at those guys later on. So, let's see. Oh, this guy was really rated pretty well. Throckmorton. He's one who I think at the Combine ended up doing really well. We're picking 146 here. Is that it? No, we're picking 127. So, still looking for best players available at positions of need. You know what? Maybe we take another offensive lineman. Let's go back and look. What's our board look like so far? Defensive tackle, offensive QB. We do have a center already. We didn't get that guard yet. So, again, thinking about somebody who might be able to play from center or guard. Move over in positions. Tackle who can play a multitude of positions. Offensive line, smart, displays good vision, works well. Line mates, patient pass protection. We want to hear with offensive linemen is how smart they are too. Great awareness, keeps his feet moving, controlling opponent's ability to engage. Lined up at center, occasional last. So you got him at center, but he says lined up at center on occasion. So perhaps he plays some guard. Was terrific offensive lineman at Oregon, got the most from his ability. He lacks great upside and comes with limited athleticism, but his approach to the game, feel for the blocking and ability. This sounds like a good late round offensive lineman to take. So hit resume. Here's our pick at 246. So here's a running back we talked about, and it was there before, so he's still available. Cody White's somebody I've drafted a few times too. I've read up a bunch on him, so he'll probably be there still late in the draft, as he has been with some of the other picks. Yeah, so here he is. Cody White got snapped up, so I got to look for somebody else. Sage Lewis. I read a few things on him. Small run defender, linebacker. Easily knocked from the action. Highly thought of in some areas of the scouting combine. A solid run defending pursuit linebacker. It comes with limitations, but could add depth at the next level. Listen, this is the last pick of the draft for the Dolphins. What they have to compliment here. We've done a good job of balancing out offense and defense in the draft, which I always like. We don't have much in the way of wide receivers. So let's check out, see we got some elite wide receivers here. What you can also do is sort up here. I didn't show this before. You can sort up here, wide receivers. So I'm just looking at wide receivers now, and I think I've looked at Osborne before. He doesn't do much for me. Maybe we don't go wide receiver. Maybe we go back and look at the best availables again. I don't know a lot about these guys. Jordan Fuller, safety. I don't think there's much in the way of safeties at the end of the draft. There's not a whole lot here. This draft really gobbled up a lot of the skill position players. So I'm okay with a receiver who lacks strength and size, as long as he's a possession receiver and goes over the middle. So let's look for that in some of this information here. Smallish, quick, and explosive receiver who can also double as a return specialist, quickly release off the line of scrimmage, and runs scissors-sharp routes. Route running is good. Opponents struggle to stay with him out of the breaks. Incredibly quick. Tracks the pass in the air and displays good timing. Gets vertical and makes receptions and exposes himself to the big hit. A lot of guys do that. Extends his hands and snatches the ball away from frame. Coordination. You know what? End of the draft here. Could use another wide receiver. Last pick, 262, 151. There's only 255 picks in the draft. So let's go ahead and let's take Jonathan Johnson, JJ. And that's our draft. So what it does here is it shows you a recap of your draft, and then you could also go down and look at the full results to see where everybody else went. But I think overall did a good job for the offense and defense on this draft. So pretty happy with it. We got the best defensive tackle in the draft. We got the best offensive tackle in the draft. We landed a quarterback. We took the best safety in the draft. We picked up some good coverage guys, a cornerback, guys who are versatile on offensive line, some outside rushing ability, good receiver to complement what we have now. We paired up some running backs, Gibson and Harrion, and picked up some more help on the offensive line, defensive line as well, and wide receiver. So I think overall this was a pretty decent draft.